say new website, essentially it's a redesigned one that was launched back in 2015. But since then the directory has grown, and we've taken it as an opportunity to sort of create have a bit more fun with it, I suppose. It's a bit more vibrant. It encourages a lot more sort of community sharing of news and recipes. And at the heart of it sits an online directory for all of our local producers. So anyone who's doing anything exciting out there as a business with local food and drink, then it would be great to hear from them, essentially.
Because there's so many already, but like you said, there will be some that you don't know. I mean, I was looking at the list that's on there already, which seems to go on forever. It's fantastic. So many different things now. It used to just be, sort of cheese, really. Cheese and fish. And now, my word, you get everything. And it's not just what you might class as Manx produce. We've got producers now, of course, from all over the world in different cultures as well, that are producing food that's native to them, but using Manx ingredients as well.
Yes, exactly. That's really exciting. There's a lot of international cuisine over here. We do the Isle of Man Food and Drink Festival as well, and that's always a good showcase of, particularly in the catering village area. You've got, this year we've got Thai food and African, and there's Italian, there's Japanese, and all of these people are, like you say, cooking their native food, but using Manx produce really creatively. And so this website is hopefully going to showcase all of that and be a central kind of database, I suppose, for people to discover things that they might not know existed out there on the island, and to be able to locate them and contact them, and find out more, basically.
What do you think has actually grown this? Because I think back to the first Food and Drink Festival, which was great, but as you say, there was only a relatively small handful of producers and local growers there. Now, it's huge, and we just seem to have, you name it, whether it's coffee, whether it's chocolate, whether it's meat, whether it's sausages, whether it's... It just seems to be going on and on. More and more people interested in doing this sort of artisan products. Has this been something that's been designed? Do you think it's just happened? Have people moved over because they see the Isle of Man as a good place to try and develop these businesses?
Well, I think it's all based on the fact that people have recognised there is such good produce here available, and that's sort of waiting there to be done, had something to be done with it, basically. And all that we try to do at DEFA is to showcase that produce and work with the farmers and the fishermen and whatnot. And we've got grant support available, and whether that be financial assistance or support via just general sort of business development advice that we can offer to new startup businesses. So we are trying to do our best to provide a good framework for anyone who might sort of recognise a niche in the market. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is driven by the creativity of the individuals on the island, really, and their own passions and interests, and that sort of sparks some sort of creative entrepreneurialism, I suppose. I'm sure there's plenty more that can yet be done.
And a website, of course, as you're saying, you're talking about showcasing, is an international showcase, isn't it? Which is fantastic, because it means people elsewhere can see what we're producing and the fabulous products that are being made over here. But it does make me wonder how many of the producers are finding success elsewhere as well. Do many of our products get out there to the rest of the world?
Yes, definitely. The export market is something yet to be further explored, I think, and tapped into from the Isle of Man food and drink sector. There are a small number who do successfully export across the world already. Obviously we've had the impacts of things like COVID and Brexit that have sort of hit that, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, an exhibition that we've been to once in Excel will take place February-March time next year. So we'll be taking a number of producers over there, and this website will sort of sit behind them and as the sort of showcase of Isle of Man food and drink, and creating that brand. And the hope is that there, we can get them introduced to some international buyers and distributors. There's a potential, obviously, here in the local market, but way beyond the shores as well.
And it never ceases to amaze me when you do go away. I've just been on holiday for a couple of weeks, and maybe it's some of the old favourites. I was down in Hythe, and Little Fishmonger right down on the south coast. What was on the wall there? Manx skippers.
Yay!
He says that's all my customers want. They only want Manx. If they're not Manx, they're not interested.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you see terrific. Queenies on some of the top menus in London, some of the really exclusive restaurants. They really like to trumpet about the fact that they've got Manx Queenies, don't they?
Yes.
Which is fab.
Yeah, it's something a little bit different and unique. Not everyone has heard of the Isle of Man, so it's great to continue telling that story. When we went to the International Food and Drink Exhibition a couple of years ago, it was amazing talking to all these people from all over the world, and they genuinely were intrigued intrigued by this tiny little landmass in the middle of the Irish Sea that seems to produce so much and so such good quality as well. So yeah, we're hoping that this website will help showcase that both here and further afield, really.
And I see there's a plan in time, at least, to sort of open up a library of online recipes from producers. Maybe some of the things we did a little bit with the old farmhouse kitchen, some of the producers, what they like to do, maybe some of their favourite recipes with their own produce.
Yes, exactly. So that could be from businesses themselves and producers. They might, maybe some chefs potentially might want to contribute. But equally, I don't know, if you're a budding chef at home in the kitchen and you like to use Manx produce, then there is a facility to share your recipes via the website. And that will be a whole new section that we'll launch in the months to come as we start gathering those. And it's just, I suppose, a bit of a way to have a little bit of fun and encourage some community engagement, and I guess highlight the ways in which you can use that produce that's out there.
So I guess, I mean, it's a fabulous thing. I was looking at it this morning. There's so much on there already, but you are open to other contributors. And so if you are looking for anyone else that's out there, how do they get in touch and how can they be on this website themselves?
Yes, of course. So if you go to the website iomfoodanddrink.com, then there is a tab on there to join the producer directory, and there's a form you can fill out. If not, if that's a bit complicated, then you can just drop us an email, food@gov.im, and we'll be there to help you.
Excellent.
Sounds good to
and
me.
you can sample loads of it at the Royal Agricultural Show tomorrow.
It is all
Yes.
there. One more time, the actual address for the website, if people want to go and take a look.
Yeah, so it's www.iomfoodanddrink.com.